Hi, graphing quadratic function. The standard form of the quadratic function is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where y equals f of x and a is not equal 0. The graph of the quadratic function is called what? Is called parabola. So don't forget this name. To find the vertex of the parabola, just the x coordinate, it will be negative b over 2a, and y equals f of x. So to find the y coordinate, just find f of negative b over 2a. So x equals negative b over 2a and y equals f of negative b over 2a, and we can find it algebraically. For example, we can find it algebraically. Example, if we have here f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 1. Now the first step, find a, b and c. A is what? Coefficient of x squared, it will be 1. B is negative 4 and c equals 1. Now we have here a, b and c. 1, negative 4 and 1. To find x coordinate equals negative b over 2a, plug the numbers here. So x, it will be negative times negative 4 over 2 times 1. Negative times negative, it will be positive 4 over 2. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So the value of x coordinate of the vertex, it will be 2. To find the value of y, just find f of 2 here. F of 2 equals 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 1. Just cancel x and write here 2. So 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 1 equals 4 minus 4 times 2 equals 8 plus 1. 1 plus 4 equals 5. We can write it 5 here. 4 plus 1 equals 5, and 5 minus 8 equals negative 3. So if f2 equals negative 3, y coordinate will be negative 3. The vertex will be 2 and negative 3. Now the simplest function is what? We have two functions. The first one, when b and c equals 0 and a equals 1. So the simplest function, f of x equals x squared. We will graph the function as shown. So we have here the parabola. The graph here is open up. Okay, and we have here this point is called the vertex. The vertex here is 0, 0, the origin point. And if the graph is opened up, we have a minimum value of the function at y equals 0. And we have here the symmetric line of the function or of the graph. It will be the y axis. Its equation is x equals 0. So we have here a equals 1, b equals 0, and c equals 0. The graph is called parabola. The parabola is opened up and the vertex is 0, 0, which is the origin point. And the minimum point here at y equals 0. The graph is symmetric with respect to y-axis. Its equation x equals 0. The second function is f of x equals negative x squared. The difference that this function or this parabola is opened down, and this graph is called parabola opened down. We have here the parabola is opened down. Its vertex is 0, 0 again, which is the origin point, and the maximum point at y equals 0. But previous example, we have here minimum minimum value of the function at y equals 0, and the graph is symmetric with respect to y-axis, which is x equals 0, its equation. Let's have an example. If we have here graph the quadratic function, if we have here f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 1, and x is greater than or equal -1 and less than or equal 5, so the value of x here from -1 to 5, we can make a table. So the value of x will be -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can calculate the function of -1, 0, 1, and so on, as we studied before. For example, to find the value of f of -1, just cancel x and write -1. -1 squared equals 1, and -4 times -1, it will be 4 plus 1. Now 1 plus 4 equals 5, 5 plus 1 equals 6. By the same way, 0 squared, it will be 0, minus 4 times 0, it will be 0, plus 1, it will be 1. f of 1, 1 minus 4 plus 1 equals -2. To find f of 2, it will be 2 squared, it will be 4, minus 4 times 2 equals -8 plus 1, 4 plus 1 equals 5, minus 8, it will be -3. 3 squared equals 9, -4 times 3, it will be -12 plus 1, 1 plus 9, we have here two positive numbers, 1 and 9 equals 10, 10 minus 12, it will be -2, and f of 4, it will be 16 minus 16, plus 1, it will be 1, the last number, it will be 6. We can draw here, plot the points here, -1, 6, 0, 1, 1, -2, and so on. We will get the parabola here. The parabola here is opened up, and we can find its vertex from the graph. Here we have here x coordinate is 2 and y coordinate is -3, so it will be 2 and -3. If we go to 2 and -3 here in the table, we have here -2, 1, 6, and we have here -2, 1, 6. So the value of the function before the vertex point or before 2, the same the value of the function after 2. Okay, so this point is called the vertex point. The vertex point, it will be 2, -3. Now vertex is 2, -3, and we can write here the symmetric line, or the equation of the symmetric line. It will be x equals what here at the vertex equals 2. So we can draw here the symmetric line and write here its equation. It will be x equals 3, and the parabola is opened up. Now we have a minimum value at y equals what? -3. Example, graph the quadratic function f of x equals x squared minus 3, and x is greater than or equal -3, less than or equal 3. Make a table and write the rule of the function x squared minus 3, values of x from -3 to 3, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can find its function. F of -3, it will be 9 minus 3, it will be 6. By the same way, we can find the value of the other values of x. Now we can draw the graph here, the parabola, which point here is a vertex point. If you look at the shape here, we have here 0 and we have here -3. This is the vertex point. The vertex point here 0, -3. We can write here the symmetric line. It will be x equals 0. This is line is called what? It's called the y-axis. Okay, and x equals 0. This is the equation of y-axis, and the parabola has minimum value at y equals 3. Example, graph the quadratic function. We have now f of x equals x squared minus 7x plus 10, and x is greater than or equal -1 and less than or equal 5. Make a table and write the rule of the function. The values of x from -1 to 5, and substitute to find the value of -1, f of 0, 1, and so on. We can get, and we can draw here the parabola. We will find the parabola here has here a minimum value. The vertex, it will be 3.5 and -2.25. If you look here, we can't find here the vertex from the drawing, okay, or from the shape or from the graph, okay, but we can find it algebraically. If you can't find it from the graph, or you can find it algebraically, just find the x coordinate and y coordinate. X equals what? Equals -b over 2a, and y equals what? F of -b over 2a. We studied before. We can write here the minimum value, and we can draw here the symmetric line of the graph. Now we can find it algebraically. F of x equals x squared minus 7x plus 10. Now a equals 1, b equals -7, and c equals 10. This is the constants. X equals what? X equals -b over 2a. Substitute negative times -7 over 2 times 1, so it will be 7 over 2 equals 3.5. To find the value of y coordinate, just find f of 3.25. So 3.5 equals 3.5 squared minus 7 times 3.5 plus 10. You can use your calculator to find it. It will be -2.25. This is the y coordinates. So the vertex of the function will be 3.5 comma -2.25. Now we can write the symmetric line. X equals what? X equals 3.5, and the minimum value at y equals what? Equals -2.25. Example, graph the quadratic function. F of x equals -x squared minus 2x plus 5, and x is greater than or equal -4, less than or equal 2. Now we can write here the rules and find the value of -4 and so on to arrive of 2 equals here -3. We can draw here the function. The parabola here is opened down, and the vertex will be -1, 6. Now we can write the maximum value. We have here maximum value because the parabola is opened down at y equals what? Here in the vertex, here we can write the vertex. Then we can deduce the maximum or minimum value at y equals what? Equals 6. And we can write here the symmetric line, or the equation of the symmetric line. X equals the x coordinates here. The x coordinate here is -1. Now we can write here the equation of symmetric line.